All right, so this is gonna be a little bit of a different vlog. We are currently, as you guys have been watching, if you guys have been keeping up with the videos, we've been on a road trip, which, surprise, we're home now. What had happened was we drove up to Northern Nights. We ended up getting there, like you guys saw in the last video, there was absolutely no cell service. So I left my phone in the car the majority.
I didn't even know where my phone was until like Sunday when I was like, oh man, I haven't taken any pictures the whole time we've been here. So like not having service was cool, but it also didn't force me to have my phone out and get pictures like I normally do.
That's true. And then on the other hand, like I carried around my camera only at like specific moments. We're like, oh, we're gonna go adventure, we're gonna go do this. But the majority of the time, so like when we got there and we pulled up, one of the things that we didn't discuss in the last video was the fact that like car camping is incredibly scary because you are surrounded by a bunch of people that you don't know. Who's gonna be around us? Is it gonna be...
camping in general at a festival is like you never know who you're gonna end up next to, who your campmates are gonna be, if they're gonna be rowdy and loud, obnoxious, if they're gonna be awesome like ours were.
So we ended up parking, and within like 10 minutes of us starting to set up, we ended up having our camp neighbors pull up. They ended up, their names are Connor and Taylor. They were super fucking cool people, and we hit it off like immediately. Before our camps were even set up, we were just like, hey, what's up? I think personalities meshed really quickly.
Yeah, really fast.
They live just north of San Francisco.
I believe it was their first festival as a like couple, just the two of them.
And then it
like,
was our first couple trip too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
like
cool.
They've been together a long time, but like it was their first festival camping, just the two of them.
So we got to like meet up with them and set up camp, which ended up being like really wonderful because you get like a 10 foot by like 20 foot space as an estimate, where then when we put our two camps up, it kind of just became one big camp. Like,
yeah, I brought like tapestries to kind of section us off, and then I ended up like not putting one in between us.
Yeah.
And we ended up kind of just sharing our camp.
A campsite, which was really cool. Like we had coffee and breakfast in the morning and stuff, which like I battled so hard trying to figure out how to get the freaking the camping stove set up. I was opening it up and it was upside down the entire time. I'm like, I feel like it's missing like side walls and barriers and shit like that. And then
light bulb.
While I was trying to figure it out, the camera ended up falling off the car, and that sucked.
Yeah.
So Saturday we woke up, we cooked some breakfast for our camp. What did we do that day?
We went to the river.
So now this sits right on the... What river was
Eel
that?
River.
The Eel River?
Yeah.
So like I was saying, I didn't really film a whole lot. So right now we're gonna sit together and we're gonna piece this adventure together, because like I never took the camera out to like film myself to tell you, hey guys, like this is what we're doing, this is what's going on. So that's what we're doing now. The river was fun.
The river was fun.
It was kind of blocked off. They dammed up a portion of the river, so it became more of like a little wading pool type thing.
Yeah.
It was still moving water, but it was like a 12, 15 foot deep section that they man-made, built walls on either side with rocks and stuff like that.
And there was like a stage down there and a bar.
That's right. So alcohol was just wide open. You were free to do pretty much anything that you wanted there. It was really the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful, beautiful area, which we highly enjoyed. We didn't know what we were getting into, but it ended up being like a really nice place, and it was huge. It was a big, from our camp spot, what were we estimating? Quarter mile, half mile to the front gate?
Sure.
River. So that was our river adventure. We hung out there probably for a good couple of hours, just floating.
We got there early, and then it started getting super crowded to the point where like you weren't really able to like move, and people were splashing, and it just like got a little too much.
Everybody's like rafts were like butted up against each other because it was just so jam-packed and stuff like that. There were a bunch of stages everywhere. A lot of them were hidden in, well, one of them was hidden within like a set of trees. So like these giant redwoods, and there was camping all around it. People were hanging up hammocks in between these giant redwood trees and just hanging out. I think later that day, I really wanted to get kind of like a view of what everything looked like. So we went down to the river, I think, after we got dried off and
close
stuff.
to our campsite.
Yeah, we kind of just walked down the hill. It was like a little quick, easy walk. And then we went and got the drone up. I was such an idiot. I flew for probably like 20 minutes. 20 minutes of flight time. And in my head, I'm going, oh, this is beautiful. I'm getting this shot. I'm getting this shot. Flying the river this way. Flying the river that way. Getting the shot this way. Doing this. Doing all this shit. Oh my God, look at all the people in this lake. Oh, there's our camp.
Well, what happened?
I didn't press record. The music at the festival is EDM based. What we assumed was going to be EDM based.
Now let's try that one again.
Friday night was wonderful at Northern Nights. It
was Dirty Bird.
That was really cool Friday night. Saturday night rolled around, and from sound check, immediately were like, it's not really like the vibe, the feeling that you wanted. Saturday, we actually only went into the festival one time, and that was to go get food.
I got a smoothie. You got the pulled pork something or other. We walked in there, and that was like hours before the festival even opened.
Yeah, so like everyone's still there, and it's not closed off. You can walk in and out freely 24 hours a day, but there was just nothing happening at that point. From sound check, when they started at the stages, we just immediately were like not feeling the vibe of the music. It was like real
whiny rap.
Yeah, and
with them giving them a microphone and letting them scream over the whiny rap.
And it was just a sound check. Like, what the fuck were you doing? It was really, really rough, and it only got worse throughout the entire day. Like, once sets started, from DJs to artists to whoever went up there, it wasn't our type of flow, and it brought in. You could buy individual day passes, which I think Friday and Sunday were sold out. You could buy only day passes for Saturday, right? Yeah. So like Friday was like everyone that was there to camp for the weekend and enjoy this thing. Saturday, you could buy an individual one day, a single day pass where you can show up, you can go enjoy the festival, and then get the hell out of there. Saturday brought in just a pretty terrible crowd. It was just a bunch of people that were coming to rage and get fucked up and cause chaos.
Yeah.
People were driving around, like our cars were parked. We're in a crowd of like 100 campsites or something like that. This was
my number one complaint throughout the whole weekend.
Give it to them.
Was just when you pull into a festival, and especially a camping festival, a lot of events that I go to, you have to park, and then you have to stay there until the end of the weekend, unless you get security to escort you out for an emergency if you have to leave or whatever. There was no rules like that here. So
it was really the Wild West.
People were getting in their trucks and hanging out of their trucks and driving fast and like
with
kind of being
bottles of beer and liquor in their hands.
And I felt like unsafe at times walking around, that somebody's gonna come,
pulling around a corner or some shit like that. Yeah,
drunk, and that's mainly my only complaint. I like the whole free for all. I like having the freedom to
absolutely
do what I want and not, but everybody's like, oh, you can't do that all the time. So that was nice, but there should be a certain part when it comes to operating a motor vehicle.
Sunday got back to good music. At the start of sound check, I think we were laying by the river, weren't we? I don't know where we were, but Sunday rolled around. The music was
we
great.
popped our butts in the river.
Oh, that's right. We were sitting in the river.
When so where it was held, the dam was held up or whatever, we were a little bit farther down where our campsite was, and then so the river was really thin, so you could just go plop your butt in the river, and it was just,
you probably
so
had like a
just,
solid, like, I don't know, 16 to 18 inches of water. Like, it wasn't more than 2 feet worth of water
we
in,
caught a
in
beach
most
ball
parts.
that was dribbling down the river.
Yeah, just floating away. Well, we spent pretty much all night there, hanging out, listening to music. We were getting drinks all day. I think we got drinks at every single location that sold drinks.
I feel like we drink more on Sunday night when we have to leave the next day than we did the whole weekend.
We totally did. Yeah, no, but we just drank all day on Sunday. The cool thing about the festival was vendors and stuff like that. There were food trucks there, which, like, again, we got absolutely no footage of any of this stuff. Which, like, what a fail. As a vlogger, what a fucking fail that is. Sorry, I'm telling you about all this great shit we did, but I'm trying to piece it together, man.
We're living in the moment.
We were, and which is the hard part, which you guys will find. I just got back from the Vegas trip. If you guys follow me on Twitter and stuff like that, I just got back from Vegas with the boys and, like, filmed a lot, but it's gonna kind of probably be the same. Like, I was just enjoying the moment.
Like, you want to capture stuff.
And I want to be able to share it with you guys, but there's times where carrying the camera
and it's hard
isn't-
to, like, flip around and talk when music's super loud, or when you're with a group of people and you're walking around. It's hard to be like, oh, like, I want to film this, but then I also need to.
We went through, checked out all the vendors and the food trucks and stuff like that. We walked around that place like a bunch of times, and there was just music happening everywhere, people wandering around
There was
everywhere.
a vendor.
Oh.
Okay.
You talking about the bush lady?
So I went by myself to go take a shower because I was the only one in my group that was like, I want to take a shower. So I went and took a shower, and I was like waiting in line for a smoothie after, and I just see this girl walking down this hill, carrying, like, pulling a wheelbarrow.
A wagon.
One of those things.
Like
She
a
was
wagon,
carrying
right?
a wheelbarrow. She's pulling a wagon, and as I'm, like, looking, I'm like, okay, she doesn't have a top on. And then she gets closer. She doesn't have any clothes on at all.
Nothing.
And a gnarly little bush going on. So then I see her later that night.
That was earlier in the day.
Yeah, and so then later in the day, we're walking around. We had just gotten, like, burritos or lunch or something.
Yeah.
We walked by her booth, and she is sitting in this booth that so she's a clothing vendor.
Now she's working, trying to sell stuff
sitting
to people.
in a chair, legs wide open, just
Butt
chilling.
naked.
When we talk about free-for-all, we really mean that it was a free-for-all.
Brian, who joined our camp on Saturdays, brother was there, and who's an artist. Now it was cool because there were a ton of different art pieces just all over the place. All different artists just doing hand paintings, and they're just installments for the festival that I'm sure that they'll probably bring out every year.
Yeah,
now
it's
and
cool
stuff like
because
that.
just like when you show up, it starts as nothing, and then throughout the week and it progresses, and then by Sunday, you have all these beautiful
like
art that you
6
watch
foot by 10 foot like giant
become
pieces.
something.
Yeah, things. And like some people were just individual artists, some people were like teaming up as a group and doing stuff. Brian's brother, which I may be able to link his Instagram and stuff down below, so make sure to check out all those links. His brother was just doing this huge art piece that was inside where the main stage was, which was like a really cool place to have it. Like if you're gonna get as much traffic as possible, being where everybody's gonna be, what was kind of the cool place to have it. But they did like this, I think there were like 3 or 4 artists doing this painting that they were doing, but they did it in like black light, glow in the dark paint. They had a 3D like city that popped out with lights behind it and stuff like that. It was a super cool installment, and while all this is happening, there's a show going on like right behind it. Then we got there, we did circles, and then we saw that he was doing like body painting with black light, like body painting.
The whole body was so cool.
And then Nancy and Taylor ended up getting painted up. Let's go ahead and roll that montage of everything that was happening that night, because that was fun. So ultimately, I think that was a super successful camping adventure. I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. If we had any other neighbors, it may have been a different scenario. Just a lot of weird, questionable things.
And the lady in front of us, in front of our car,
she was having a spaz,
She was having a cry meltdown. I didn't even want to fucking come here, blah, blah, blah. She was having
Get me out of here, we're packing this shit.
The people behind us, they just partied. They slept on like the ground without a tent and stuff.
They showed up unprepared. They're just like, we're going for the weekend.
Balls to the wall.
We did well. I can't really think of anything that we would have needed that I look back and go, oh man, I wish
more
we
beer.
Had. More beer, definitely.
That's my only.
So
less food, more beer.
I totally got a response, and I'll shout this out. I haven't looked it up to see if it's right, but I'm gonna go by it. Jonah Henninger, I probably said that wrong. Sorry, Jonah. Says Gose is the type of beer, the GOSE, your watermelon thing, is the type of beer they mostly tend to be sour or tart.
I had no idea.
We just picked it up like she saw bear moose on it or whatever the fuck it was.
Literally, it was a bear moose.
It was a bear moose.
That is literally what sold me. I was
like, this can looks fun. But the something easy, which you guys saw me try on there, that's
a fave.
That was like, we've bought that after, and we've been hanging by the pool drinking Lagunitas.
There was a lot of people at the festival with that beer too. Like
the
camp neighbors, that's all they brought was the something easy.
Yeah, that was damn good beer. I'm still enjoying that. The bear moose one, not so much. The watermelon tart beer, that's still in the fridge. We should probably dump that.
I feel like we should give it to somebody in need.
All right, I hear we're bringing it over to Matt's and doing a chug challenge with it.
Oh, yeah, do that.
Pretty much the adventure. I mean, the final thoughts that you want to put to it? I think we'll definitely keep an eye out to be back next year.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Had a lot of fun.
Electric Forest next year.
That's true.
Everything.
That's true. There are so many things coming up that we've got planned. Who knows what we'll be doing come summer of next year.
Electric Forest.
So that's pretty much gonna wrap up this entry, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And it was kind of just like us sitting here talking and having a conversation with you guys and showing you guys the random stuff. But sometimes that's how this has to roll. Sometimes we just gotta do what we gotta do. And sorry for being, I'm just gonna throw this out there, inconsistent over uploading. You get a bug or something?
I got hair blowing in my face.
We were on that week-long road trip. I was trying to get caught up on editing and stuff because when I'm out and about, it's really hard to get any editing done. Because it's like wake up and go and
just go.
Come back, go to sleep, wake up and go. It's just nonstop. So I was trying to get our road trip out there for you guys, but then Las Vegas came around and then I was gone for another 3 days. So now I've got the next 2 solid weeks here at home. Before we leave for Chicago. So another road trip coming up here. We are going to all in. We are going to all out. This battery's dying. I'm going to wrap this up. So much more good stuff to come. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you guys later.